Welcome to SEGA News Bits. Today we're going to be talking about the Ghostblade, or Ghostblade, I guess they dropped the. It's an indie Dreamcast game from Hucast, just released. People are getting into their hands now, and I just received my copy. I had a few hours to play with it, so this is really just very quick impressions of it, as well as a little chat about an opinion piece that we posted on the site. But first, the game itself, it's a shmup, a shoot 'em up. You fly around in a ship. It's if you're an indie Dreamcast collector, there's been close to over half a dozen of these. Personally, I'm getting a little tired of the genre. However, Strömwind from Red Spot Games, and Duranic, I'm probably butchering the name of the developer. That was an awesome game. That game felt like a legitimate Dreamcast game release from, the golden age. It had menus, it had VMU saving screens, like it had all these things. Ghostblade, it feels like a NG dev team sort of game where it's a port, but in the case of Ghostblade, it's not a port of a Neo Geo game, so it really doesn't have that excuse. The game itself, it actually feels quite light to me. There's 5 stages, 3 ships. I didn't think the ships felt that different. However, the one big positive that I felt so far in the game is that there's a novice mode, which means I can actually play through the entire game. A lot of these shoot 'em up games that come out, they're very difficult, obviously, and I always think it's unfortunate that they don't cater to the pussies like myself who don't know how to play the games of the genre. So, there's no real save points. There's no real, daddy can I play mode. However, again, going back to Strömwind, that did have a lot of those options. You beat a stage and it would save it. It's a decent game, but I just think the fact that it's not a Neo Geo port means that they could have done more with the Dreamcast. It doesn't really have that crutch, I can't say, oh, it was a Neo Geo port. Do you have any questions for me, George? I know you might be better at the genre than I am.
Well, I'm not really better at the genre. I'm actually kind of crappy at it, but I do enjoy these games. But like you said, it feels like there's everybody's doing these games right now on Dreamcast, right?
Yeah.
It feels like that's like the easiest thing to pick up, and I don't know, because there's an engine and they could just throw new assets into it and mix around the rules. But how's the graphics compared to the other shoot 'em ups on Dreamcast?
The graphics are good. They're not as good as Strömwind. They are better than Redux for sure. If we're looking at just Hucast games. They're a lot more.
How about
better than
Fast Striker or something?
Oh, I'd say they're a little better than those games too, just because it's not a direct port of the Neo Geo game.
Okay.
So there's a bit more going on graphically. In fact, there might be a bit too much going on graphically. There's a bomb that you can drop that destroys things on the screen, but it causes a bit of slowdown. Not game breaking, but still, it's like you could have fine-tuned that.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
And how does it feel, like the overall package? There's something with these indie games, I always feel like there's something missing. Like it just doesn't come together to feel like a professional game, I guess. Is this a problem with this game too, or did you feel like the music was spot on, the sound effects were spot on?
I think the music was nice, the sounds were nice, but it does not feel like it could stack up with really any of the initial Dreamcast releases. Unlike, I say the name again, Strömwind. That game, I don't know if you've played it, but it feels like a legit. It's better than some shoot 'em ups that officially came out on the Dreamcast. Believe it or not.
I'm probably gonna have to play that one soon then.
Yeah, but in the case of Ghostblade, I'd say it's Hucast's best effort. However, given that they only have Dux and Redux to go off of, that's not saying too much. There is a 2-player mode, which is nice. Again, the difficulty settings are nice. I've heard that the game is not that difficult on the harder mode, but then again, I'm not one of those people who's asking for a, extremely hardcore shoot 'em up. And to be honest, I feel like there's more than enough of those. NG Dev Team alone, which is I believe the brother of the brother who works or heads up Hucast works for that. So when you were talking, yeah,
this is like a huge like family business thing, you know, these shoot 'em ups, right, on Dreamcast.
yeah. There's two brothers. There's Tim Hellwig and Renee Hellwig. Tim is on the NG Dev Team side, and Renee is on the Hucast side. I believe Renee is a little more art and design background, while Tim is the more game design background, but I'm sure they dabble in both, and I don't want to, say for sure that that's what their strengths are, but that's what it feels like when you play the Hucast games. They kind of feel like a poor man's NG Dev Team game.
And how much was the game, and what package did you buy? Because I know they release these things in like 37 million packages with like limited edition, ultra limited edition. I mean, what do you get?
I got the standard edition, just the game. I don't really need the soundtrack. I'm sure it's not a song like soundtrack that I'm like, oh god, I gotta throw on that Ghostblade soundtrack. That's some good shit.
That's some good shit.
No. But the package itself, it's the DVD case. It looks nice. There's a full color manual, which is it's more than just a folded piece of paper like Redux had. It actually has pages. The art's really nice on the case. It looks professional. I don't believe there's any crossover with other games. I know that NG Dev Team was building kind of a little universe where a character from one game would appear in another, which was kind of fun. Price-wise, I believe it cost me about $40, which is a little steep, I guess, but at the same time, it's the going rate for a indie Dreamcast game, and it's cheaper than $60, so that's not.
So the disc pressing and everything was well done.
Yeah, it was full color label. It looks nice. It's a nice package. I wish that I could have gotten it in a jewel case, and that's something I'll bring up when we talk about our next bit, which maybe we should move on to. I plan to review the game proper, but I really only have had a few hours with it. If you'd like more SEGA news, check us out at segabits.com. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and follow us on all our social networks.